following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. It is 4:02 p.m., time for the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM. My name is Loyd Kirby. I'm the host here for the 4 p.m. 411, and for the next 30 minutes, we will be talking with a newsmaker from the area, someone... a familiar face, definitely. Our guest for this show is Tim Searby, who is the director of the upcoming production of Lincoln Community Theater's Godspell. So, Mr. Searby, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's good to be here, Loyd.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
So, let's get right into it. Godspell, the show you're directing, it's the opening show for the 2024 LCT season. Can you tell us sort of a Cliff's Notes version of the plot of the show?
Sure, I'd be glad to. This is my 6th time to direct the show, So I want to tell you how excited I am to get to do it. That maybe tell you something about how much I like the show. It was written by John Michael Tebelik, and then the music was written by Stephen Schwartz. And it came onto, it was on off Broadway in 1971. So shortly after I graduated from high school, if that tells you anything about my age. But it was a project from Carnegie Mellon students in New York, and they put it together. It's based on the Passion of Christ. Wow. And so it's the script comes almost exclusively from the book of Matthew. Okay. And it's a wonderful, wonderful storyline. You can't find a better script, and but filled with humor, filled with life. It's also the Stephen Schwartz music. Anybody that's heard his music falls in love with it right away, and it's wonderful music. We have a fantastic cast that is doing a great job with it, but it's a lot of the parables are acted out and told in a creative way, a way that all ages can enjoy it. So it's really a fun show. Okay, yeah. And you mentioned to me before we went on the air, it is a multi-generational show. It is. It's multi-generational. I'm thrilled. We have all the way from age 13 all the way up to, I think, actually in the cast, our oldest person is 67.
Oh, okay.
I won't tell you how old I am, but I'm a little older than that. Okay. So, but it's so delightful to see the interaction between all of these people, having that. It just gives it a new life, and so it's been really an exciting project for me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And, of course, show dates coming up in June?
June 20th through 23rd, and the evening performances are at 7:30, and then the Sunday matinee will be at 2 o'clock, and they're all at Lincoln Community High School Auditorium. Okay, so, and looks like tickets are $15 for adults, $10 for students. Exactly.
Available at the door?
Yes, yes. With this size auditorium, it's usually not a problem. It's fine to go ahead and call ahead if you want to, but we usually don't have an issue with tickets.
Okay, and let's see, you mentioned it's at the Lincoln Community High School.
Yes, yes.
So they revamped their facilities there in the theater program, so I'm guessing you're reaping the benefits of that, so to speak.
We truly are. We are so excited to be there. I tell you, the whole staff has just been so good to us, and we're so grateful to be there. They've upgraded a lot of the systems, and so it's just made it really a joy to work there. And the longer we're there, the more we feel like it's home. It's just becoming a great place for us to be. be.
And you mentioned this is your 6th time directing the show?
It is. It is.
How do you do it the same each time, or is there a
good
little
question?
spin
Thank
put
you.
on it each time?
We do put a little different spin on it, and this year it's especially with using this multi-generational cast. It's giving me just the chance to do some different things as we tell these different parables. It also gives me a chance to use people that maybe have not been in a position before. I am thrilled that Claire Conradi is choreographing the whole show for me.
Oh, okay.
And this is her first time, I think, to be the choreographer. And so it's been exciting for new people to come on. Kristen Green, Dr. Green, is our doing all of our costumes, and she has a great crew. Jill Voiles is doing our props and our stage managing, and I always know if I turn it over to Jill, it'll be there. We'll get exactly what we want. And then we have Julie Casa as our accompanist and our pianist in the pit. Got a wonderful pit coming together, and it's just exciting to see how things are happening. Now, we are using a totally different set than I've ever used.
Oh, okay.
Jeff Prince, who is also playing the role of Jesus, has designed and built our set. And so it's a totally different set than I've ever used for Godspell. But I think once people see it, they're going to fall in love with it, the way we use the set.
Okay.
So,
yeah, because I'd asked you if you were using the new
projection
system
yes.
at the high school, but you said no.
We don't need to use it for this. We just need, with the way we're using the set, we just need the black backdrop. And so we'll have that, and then the set will be highlighted in front of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. So once again, our guest is Tim Searby from Lincoln Community Theater. 217-648-5510, the number to call if you have any questions, or if you've seen a show at Lincoln Community Theater, or just have any sort of comments or anything. So we mentioned Godspell, the upcoming production, June 20th through the 23rd, 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 20th through the 22nd, and then 2 p.m. matinee on Sunday. So let's see, we got a couple more minutes here before our first break. So is this your first time with Lincoln Community Theater?
I started performing with Lincoln Community Theater in 1977.
Oh, really?
My wife and I moved back to Lincoln. We met each other at school at Lincoln Christian University, and were married and moved away for a couple of years. And when we moved back, LCT was doing The Unsinkable Molly Brown. And one of my all-time favorite shows and one of my all-time favorite roles, I got to do Johnny Brown.
Oh, okay.
And so it was just grabbed me, and I've been a part of it ever since. There's been sometimes, when we have to as board members, by the bylaws, you have to take some time off. But for many of those years, I've been active with Lincoln Community Theater. And
you say that was 1977?
Yes.
Okay, because I tried to do a little investigative work on the website. The first show I saw you in was 1978. Sky Masterson.
Guys and Dolls.
Right.
Yes.
So, but you were there the year before.
I was there the year before.
Missed that one,
yeah, I was there in 77 for Johnny, and then did mostly performing then early on, and then later I started doing more directing, and I love directing too, but got to do some performing a couple of years ago, and found out I really miss that too.
Okay. All right.
So it's great to be a part of Lincoln Community Theater.
Sure.
It's just
No, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and there are, you started out performing, now you're directing. There are multiple roles, as you mentioned, costumes and sets and stage and all sorts of things.
Right, right. And we're constantly recruiting people. We are thrilled that some of our new board members that have come on these last couple of years also have other gifts that they bring to the table that we really need. For instance, Devin Vinoy has joined us and has tremendous background in sound production and in lighting. And then Paul Crombie is on our board now, and such a business mind, and just been so helpful with all of that. And by the way, his daughter is in Godspell, and we're delighted. So she's one of my 13-year-olds.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
So it's exciting to see these people coming into the board. Many of us, that have been on the board, truly are aging. So we need that fresh blood blood, and we're
Right.
thrilled to have those people join us. So
Yeah,
it's great.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So once again, our guest is Tim Searby, the director this time around for Godspell at Lincoln Community Theater, coming up in June. You mentioned one of your board members has a business mind. We've got some business to take care of here as well. So we'll go ahead and give you a couple commercials, and we'll be back more with Tim Searby right after this.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 here with Lincoln Community Theater Director Tim Searby. He is the director of Godspell, which will be the first production in LCT's season. We'll flash the information on the screen for you if you're watching the live stream. Thursday through Sunday, June 20th through the 23rd. 7:30 performances on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then a 2 p.m. matinee on Sunday. All performances taking place in the auditorium at Lincoln Community High School. So, Director Searby, I forgot to ask you in the first segment, how are rehearsals going for the show?
They're going fantastic. I mentioned earlier about the multi-generational group. It's just so fun to see the interaction of these ages, but then also as people are getting into the storyline, to see exactly how they are responding to the different music. I think a lot of people probably, even though the show's been around a long time, have not heard it or seen it.
Right.
So it's filled with different styles of music. Okay. It's filled with solos, with group numbers. So the music throughout is just exciting, and I think everybody would find a song that they like, might even go out of the theater humming that song. And a lot of people will remember the song Day by Day. Sure. That one was the big hit from Godspell, so they would definitely recognize that. Okay. And then to see this cast work together and to see how the choreography is coming together, the singing, beautiful voices. So you don't want to miss it.
Sure, absolutely. And so how did you mentioned you've been involved for several years. How did you sort of get drawn to that? Because it's not, LCT is a nonprofit organization. Right. So obviously you aren't there because you're getting paid big bucks. So what is the draw for that to you, not only to initially go, but then to continue coming back?
The initial draw for me with LCT is the fact that we are continuing to offer live theater in Lincoln, Illinois. A town the size of Lincoln, our theater is pretty amazing. We are so pleased that we have so many, not only people that want to perform, but people that want to help backstage, all of the type of work that many people don't know what goes into a show.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand why do you charge $15 for adults? Well, yeah, there's royalties to pay, there's sets to build, there's costumes to build. So it's the kind of thing that I love, that we can keep it going. And one of our, actually, I think the big reason that LCT started, from my understanding of history, is that so that we could have theater for our young people. And that was a driving force, and it still is. Every year, we try to push something where we at least have some children in the shows. And like, for instance, next year will be a huge children's production.
Right.
So we do that at least every other year. We will do a children's production, and then the other years we do something that young people can also be in.
Okay.
So it's so for me, all these years, it's been such a joy to see that Lincoln Community Theater is thriving, and we still have people that want to be a part of it, and people that want to come and see these shows.
Right. Yeah. Because I mentioned to you I'd done publicity at a performing arts center for a while. I was on a committee that studied the economic impact of arts. In that case, it was in the Peoria area, and it was astounding how much impact that the arts had, not only for people coming to see a show, but also going to the restaurant, gassing up their car, maybe visiting the shops in the downtown, maybe staying overnight, and also just for quality of life, the just where people want to move to. Usually a thriving arts community certainly bodes well as far as attracting people with an interest in arts. Absolutely.
And I feel like that has been one of our driving forces through the years, is to make sure that that type of a presence is here. And it does draw people to the town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. So I was going to ask you, why is Lincoln Community Theater important to the community, but we just kind of covered that.
Yes.
So let me kind of ask you, what is sort of the status of the LCT? Because for a while it went dark, and then of course COVID hit, which played havoc with all sorts of live performances. How are things with Lincoln Community Theater these days? It's
really moving back. We are thrilled that we have so much happening and people so interested in it. It did. We had to take a hiatus for a little while, and then when we came back, we had so much interest that we knew we were doing the right thing in bringing it back. But then COVID hit, and just like you said, I mean, it played havoc with so much. And now I think we're starting to move back into a position where people want to see live theater, and they're excited to see it. So they're glad to see that it's being provided. Right. And, absolutely. Yeah. And you mentioned there are several roles, things to be done, set painting and set building and sound and so forth. If folks are interested in theater, but maybe they aren't a singer or an actor, how would they go about getting involved with that? Basically, if you'd go to our website and our phone number's there too, call and let us know that you're interested in doing that. We'll find a job for you. And it may be that if you're not wanting to be on stage, maybe you would like to work backstage, as far as making sure props are in the right place, making sure that people are in the right place, or running lights or a spotlight. We can always train people to do these jobs, and they are vital to these productions to make it the production it needs to be. Yeah, absolutely. So, once again, our guest is Tim Searby. He's the director of Godspell at Lincoln Community Theater, coming up opening night June 20th. We will be back in a couple minutes and talk more with Mr. Searby right after these messages.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. And we are back on WLCN 96.3 FM at the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN. We've got a few more minutes left. Our guest this half hour has been it's easy for you to say, has been Tim Searby, the director of Godspell, which opens at Lincoln Community Theater on June 20th. We were talking during the break and before the show, actually, we were talking about the fact that Lincoln Community Theater now has a permanent home, so to speak, which is far different than in the past. So how is that building being utilized, and what a benefit I'm sure it is to the organization?
Yeah, great question. We purchased the building so that we would have our own property that we could have for a warehouse and a workspace for a workshop. And it has worked out beautifully. A lot of work we need to do yet, and it's getting there, but it's at on Broadway Street, right next to Idle Hour. Okay. And so now we can truly say Lincoln Community Theater on Broadway.
All right.
And that is our address, but just so that people do understand, it's a warehouse and workshop building. It's not a performance building.
Yeah. Don't show up there the night of the show.
No, there will not be room. It'll be at Lincoln Community High School. Right. But the building has worked out beautifully. We'll use the front building that is on Broadway. We'll use that for warehouse for costumes, set pieces, and then also other stuff that we use. But then the pole building in the back has turned out as a beautiful asset for us to be our shop, where our guys can build the sets, and then we can store flats, we can store all of our equipment and know what we have.
Right.
And so it's been a beautiful setup for us. And the thing of it is, the building still does need work, and we've had so many people generously donate to help us with that, and that is a never-ending project. Right. And so we would definitely welcome any type of gift that anyone would want to make to help us continue to upgrade that building. Right. It'll help us protect costumes, set pieces, things like that. So we're thrilled to have it, and we're ready to move forward with getting it created to what it needs to be.
And as we talked about before, missing the Johnston Center on the Lincoln College campus, I mean, this is a far different arrangement, because it used to be you'd have set pieces, maybe a few stored there,
yes,
or even at the downtown theater when LCT was there for a few seasons.
Yes.
To build things,
yes,
and hold them in place, as well as probably other locations around town, wherever there was an open garage, maybe
where we could find something.
Right.
You mentioning the downtown theater, I'd like to segue just a little. We will be doing, as our last show, Midsummer Night's Dream, Shakespeare's funniest comedy. I know a lot of people, when they hear Shakespeare, they yawn. He is so funny. And Sherilyn Bolton is directing it, and she's doing it in the style of a speakeasy.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a riot. But the thing about this I wanted to bring up, you mentioned downtown Lincoln Theater. We were gifted the gorgeous tapestries that are 16 foot tall that were in that building, and we've kept them safe all of these years. They will be used for this production.
Oh, nice.
Because they were built in the 20s.
Sure.
And so it fits in beautifully with the speakeasy theme of Midsummer Night's Dream. So I want to encourage your listeners. Don't be afraid of Shakespeare. Come and see. This is a funny, funny show, and she has a fantastic cast lined up. So we really would like for people to come and see it.
Okay, and that, of course, is A Midsummer Night's Dream, July 25th through the 28th. Similar schedule as far as Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening, and then Sunday afternoon matinee performance. So,
yes.
And those take place July 25th through 28th. We're getting down to the end of our time here. Wanted to make sure you mentioned if folks want to support Lincoln Community Theater, they can certainly do so, whether it's help with the building or monetary donations or even, hey, my uncle died and he has this lovely whatever it might be that might be something that would look good on a set for a production. How can is there anything in particular the theater is in need of, or is it just?
I think right now, just so that we can continue operating, we are blessed that we were able to purchase that building that we purchased and pay cash.
Oh wow!
So we were grateful for that. So it's not like we're in dire need, but in order to continue to do quality programs, we need that ongoing support. And if there are people out there that have thought, I think maybe I would like to be a sponsor. It's easy. Go to the website and ask to be a sponsor, and there's different levels. I probably won't remember those correctly off the top of my head, but there are different levels that people can be a sponsor of live theater through Lincoln Community Theater.
Right. And the website is lincolncommunitytheater.org, and that's the proper spelling of theater with R-E.
You got it.
E-R.
That's right.
Yeah, my former supervisor drilled that into my head. So
yes, that's correct.
Even my phone, if I type theater now, it corrects the
Does
R-E.
it?
So,
I love it.
Yeah. So once again, Tim Searby is the director for, not for Midsummer Nights, but for Godspell, rather. The show opening June 20th, 7 p.m. performance, and then the 21st, 22nd, 7 p.m., as well as the 23rd, a 2 p.m. Did I say 7 or 7:30?
I think 7:30.
Yeah, it's 7:30.
Right.
And then the matinee is 2 p.m.
Right.
Gosh, we got a couple minutes left here. What's been your favorite role that you have portrayed?
I have two.
Okay.
The first one was Johnny Brown for LCT. My second favorite role was Michael in I Do at the Maple Club.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
I love those two roles. The Michael in I Do, it's two people.
Right.
And you go through 50 years of marriage, and it's two people that have to carry the show, but it's such good music. And it's just probably because of the type of show that it is, it lets you understand marriage and it lets you appreciate marriage. And with the music that was in it, that and Johnny Brown were my favorites. But then I'd have to say Father and Children of Eden. Also go with something like The Music Man and Harold Hill. There's just been so many, and they've been such joyous productions. I've always had such a good time in community theater, Lincoln Community Theater productions. I've always enjoyed that and always will, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. And of course, you mentioned the Maple Club. That was certainly an awesome establishment here for the community, and certainly a sad day when that closed.
Oh, it was. But just what they brought to this little Midwestern town.
Right.
And the food was amazing, and the shows were always excellent. So it was a great thing for our community.
I don't know if you remember that I played the drums for that the last time through.
That's right.
And
yes.
And Joyce Kinsey would always have her peach cobbler, and the first night she saw me not eating it, and I think she was a little offended. She was like, well, what's wrong? And I'm like, I just really don't like peaches. Every performance after that, I had a slice of red velvet cake.
Oh my goodness!
So she made sure that I was taken care of.
That's great.
And I remember some smart aleck audience member made a comment as we were getting toward the end of the show that, hey, next time if you decide to do this again in 10 years, you can do it backwards.
Do you know we redid it for the 5th anniversary?
Oh, I did not know that.
We did.
Okay.
We did. I do again. Same Joy Anderson and I, same cast, and we did it again. Yeah,
very nice. So, and of course, Alan Tideback instrumental in that, as he was in Lincoln Community Theater and theater in Lincoln in general.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. That's right.
Very lots of good memories.
Yes,
there,
absolutely.
And for more memories, of course, you'll want to go see Godspell. How's that for a segue?
There you go.
June 20th through the 23rd, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets, as you mentioned, $15 for adults, $10 for students. It is general admission seating, but you're in the community high school auditorium, so much wider selection of seating than before. Looks like on the information I had, if you have a large group, if you want to call ahead, you can call 217-671-6371 rather.
Yes.
And more information available at lincolncommunitytheater.org. That's RE Theater, not ER Theater. So, and let's see. We talked about Midsummer Nights, and we talked about the show info. So, any parting words here?
I just would encourage people, if you have any question about the show because you're not familiar with it, come and see it. You will enjoy this show. The music will carry you away, and the script is phenomenal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tim Searby, thank you for taking time with us. And next week on the 4 p.m. 411, we'll actually have a double show for you. We will have Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch at 4 o'clock, and then some representatives from the Logan County Pride Organization. They will have the 2024 Pride Fest on June 8th. But once again, Mr. Searby, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And go see Godspell, opening June 20th. More information available at lincolncommunitytheater.org. So I am Loyd Kirby, Marketing Manager here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.